Good morning. All right, we got the top in the shop, and it's time to redo the top. I have the top. We've just done a nice light sanding on it. There is a few spots that we need to fix. One being this. It looks like somebody probably had an antenna here. I got some deep gouges right here. So we're just gonna use a real thin coat of body filler on these spots here, on these spots here. But one of the big things I want to talk about is resealing the drip rail. All this drip rail right here needs a good sealant on it. If it doesn't, then the water goes down, goes underneath there, and gets between the fiberglass and the metal frame, and then can come into your cab. In this video, I'd like to address all those things. I want to address resealing the drip rail, surfacing the top towards nice and smooth with a little bit of body filler, use a primer sealer on it and seal it, the whole fiberglass. And then we're going to apply Sound Deadener material, and then we're going to apply the OEM perforated headliner to that. So one of the first things you have to do is you have to remove this sealant. Not necessarily all the sealant that's on the bottom, but you definitely have to remove the sealant that is in this corner right here. So I found the easiest way to get this caulking out is straight razor blade down the edge, like so. I took this razor blade, heated it up, and bent it. And then you can lay it in this track, so it gives you a little bit more of a flat blade. We're getting a lot of success with this little Dremel and a wire brush, and just wire brushing this whole area like that until you get it looking like this. So I just cleaned it with wax and grease remover, cleaned the drip channel really good in preparation to apply the seam sealer now. All right, this is the seam sealer that I'm using today. This is just what that is, seam sealer. This is what you're gonna wanna use to get a really good long-term seal. Don't use any cheap caulking or silicone or anything like that. Make sure you use a good, high quality, expensive seam sealer. And I'll show you this way. Just kind of lightly pushing it in there. Just give me a good seal. Good rounded edge. the wax and grease remover will take this stuff right off. So anything you get like on your edge here, we'll just go ahead and wipe down. Like that. And I would say work in a section like this. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections. 8 sections to do. All right, there you have it. All right, good morning, welcome back. So I got the top ready to go. The sealant is cured really well. And so I'm ready to spray the epoxy primer onto the top. And I'm gonna do the grill at the exact same time. And so the only thing I got left to do is wipe it down. So I'm gonna give it a quick wipe down and then shoot the epoxy primer, shoot the base coat, shoot the clear coat. I'm just gonna do a time lapse of this. I mean, everybody has seen 472,000 videos of how people paint. So, but just know that those are the next steps. We're gonna wipe it down and then we're gonna spray it and then we're going to be done for today. All right, so here you go. All right, yesterday we got the top painted, and then today we're going to put the Sound Deadener on the underside of the fiberglass top before we put the headliner in. This is the Sound Deadener I chose to go with, and there's a couple reasons that I want to talk about why I chose this Sound Deadener. So, when I set out in the sound mat deadening world in search of the correct material to use for this project, I consult Grok on a daily basis. He is my literally right-hand man. We do everything together, we talk about everything. But anyways, so we went through some research, and the consensus was we needed something that was high heat resistant and high adhesive. The adhesive is my biggest concern, right? Because the last thing you want to do is put Sound Deadener on the fiberglass roof and then put headliner material on it, and a year from now, because the owner's freaking headliner or the Sound Deadener starts falling off, and so the headliner's falling off, and so I don't want it to fail. So very quickly we did the research and we found that there's stuff that you can get on the big online seller for really cheap, but it was temperature rating was only good to 140 degrees, and not many of them talk about their adhesive. So we found this company called Second Skin Audio, and they have one called Damper Pro Sound Deadening Mat. And the reason I'm going with this one is because it's thin, but it's high reviews. But the biggest thing is you scroll down here, and what I'm not excited about is I'm not here promoting the price. Woo-wee, this stuff is expensive, but it says right there, super adhesion. And then, where is it at? Right here. Temperature rated to 450 degrees. And then right there it says adhesion for the life of your vehicle. Take my money. Enough said. So, this is what we went with. Now I'll tell you, I'll be upfront. I estimated, with Grok's help, we took measurements, we measured it all out. We need somewhere in the range of 80 to 90 square feet to cover this and cover all the floor. So, it was almost $600 just for the mat material. So this stuff is expensive. It's like $15 a sheet, and you got to get like 48 sheets in here. So, but it's high heat, up good to 450 degrees, and they're guaranteeing the adhesion for the life of the vehicle. Well, this thing's gonna be 2025 brand new, so everything. I was like, dude, 30 years, man. It should last 30 years. Done. Now I gotta clean it off. Clean it off. Clean it off. Show you my work. Then I gotta clean it. Probably with wax and grease remover, just to make sure there's nothing on this. Wow, listen to that. That sounds so good. Dude, God, that sounds good. That sounds so fucking good. I can't get over how good it sounds. If you ever wonder if is it really worth the money, I always say a good tattoo isn't cheap and a cheap tattoo isn't good. All right, welcome back. So, add a little issue yesterday. When I unrolled this, there was some spots on it. A couple little spots. And what I believe is that when this thing's rolled up, this thread, this black thread, or whatever this black stuff is here, puts marks on this. I used a little acetone, just a little dab. I was able to clean it up. So we're gonna run with it. So I'm ready to glue down the headliner onto the sound deadener. And what I'm using today, thanks to, shout out to the upholstery guy, Richard Rudolph. I've learned so much from Richard Rudolph. His videos, check out his videos. The sad thing is I watch a lot of videos, and in the videos I watch, I see people using the store-bought stuff, and it just breaks my heart because I know that it's gonna fail. Like their headliner is gonna come down. It is what it is. If you buy something at the local parts store to glue up your headliner, it's gonna fail. And how I know this is from years of experience, watching, learning, and listening. And then you listen to people like Richard, who's been doing it for 45 years. And when you seek out the why do headliners always fail, you find somebody like Richard that says, because you're using the wrong glue. So for 45 years, this is what Richard has used to glue upholstery. So, and the reason nobody else uses this is because it's expensive. It's $89, $90 for a gallon. And so a lot of people go away from it like, man, I just get this can for $8.99 at the parts store and it says it's gonna work. Yeah, it's not going to. So anyways, get yourself some DAP Weldwood contact adhesive. And I will tell you, I wanted to try it out. So I brought in my daughter's car. She has a 2007 Ford Mustang, and the door panels, the fabric on the door panels fall off. Every one of them. And people go get the auto parts stuff, spray it on there, and then it falls off. And spray it on there, and it falls off. So last weekend, I wanted to try this stuff out, and because Richard says just put it in a paint gun. And so I had my brother's old paint gun that I'm not going to use for painting anymore, just because it's just seen its days, and it just it was getting jammed up in here. But anyways, I got it working again. But I was like, wow, what if? Because Richard says you just put the glue in here and it never hardens; it just stays in here, and you don't have to clean it, and you just get to use it. So I'm like, I'm going to try it. So I tried it, and holy cow! Can I tell you, that stuff lights out. The working time is not perception that you spray it on one, you spray it on the other, and then you let them sit there until they become like tacky or something, and then you put them together and they join. Not with this stuff. This stuff, you got minutes to work with it. And if you don't get it done, it's stuck. It's stuck. It's done. Like, so work in small areas, and this stuff is going to do great. So I'm using the first time as a headliner today. I'm excited to try it out. The last thing I did was measure it. So my idea is to flip it back, do half, flip it back, do the other half, but only do the center section and get the center section good and taut, because then I can lay these sides back and get good measurements on this of how I want to cut it, and then I can spray in here and glue this down. And so for centering it up, what I did the back of the cruiser is the straight edge. This is a straight edge right here. So pretty straight. It's a little rounded, but it's fairly straight. So, but even if you just want to do the side, so do like where this hole is right here to your crease. I got 34.5 inches over this hole to the crease, 34.5 inches. I'm square. So this line right here is square with the back, which tells me that everything's going to be squared up. So the last thing I want to do is this corner right here, this corner right here, and this corner right here where it's been cut and sewed together, these corners are going to be very prominent. And so I want them the same as well. So what I do is just get my tape measure and go, it's 8 inches from the edge to that. Come over here, from that to the edge, 8 inches. I'm centered up, so I'm ready to lay it down. Okay, well, the phone died. I didn't even know the phone died, but so I just started there, went there. I started out here, worked my way to here. Right. I think the back corners could have been a little better. I'm not sure. This glue adhesive that I used is top notch, the best, but very minimal working time. So again, make sure that you work in small areas and work quickly, but yeah. It's gonna look all right.